UFC 256 Deiveson Figueiredo vs Brandon Moreno, storylines to watch on final pay-per-view event in 2020. Everything to watch for in Las Vegas on Saturday as the UFC presents its final pay-per-view offering of the year. The final pay-per-view card of an already unpredictable 2020 is upon us on Saturday when Deiveson gets his second headlining opportunity in 3 weeks at UFC 256 in Las Vegas. Next, expect Brandon Moreno to be a very live dog. There's always more pressure on the champion to defend his title than on the challenger looking to make his name. The 27-year-old Moreno has had to turn his career around the hard way after a two-fight losing skid in 2018 led to his UFC release. Moreno was also somewhat controversially passed over for a title shot against Deiveson last month in favor of Perez after former bantamweight champion Cody Garbrandt pulled out. Moreno went on to stop Brandon Royval on the UFC 255 undercard, and now sets for his own 3-week turnaround entering the biggest fight of his career. Although he has settled in as a 2-1 underdog, Moreno's chaotic style and durability could present an issue for the champion. Especially if Deiveson's history of difficult weight cuts, he missed weight completely in February and was forced to defeat Joseph Benavidez a second time to win the vacant title, becomes an issue. Given the short turnaround, Deiveson appeared to barely meet the 125-pound limit ahead of the Perez fight and, to his credit, showed no ill signs because of it inside the cage. But he also scored another early stoppage. Moreno is a dangerous threat to push Deiveson into the championship rounds, and seemingly has nothing to lose. Thirdly, stakes in Tony Ferguson-Charles Oliveira. Under any circumstance, given the entertaining style of both, this lightweight co-main event would be worthy of must-see classification. But the recent turnover in the sport's most dangerous division could play a big part in this being an important title eliminator of sorts depending upon how the cards fall. With unbeaten champion Khabib having announced his intention to retire and UFC President Dana White, at least up to this point, proving unsuccessful in luring the Eagle back in for a farewell attempt at a 30-0 record, Ferguson-Oliveira has all the making to be just as important as the January 23 showdown between Dustin Poirier and former champion Conor McGregor. White, for whatever reason, has chosen not to add an interim or vacant title to the McGregor-Poirier rematch. Which means it's very possible the winners of both fights could meet for the belt later on in 2021. Either way, the 36-year-old Ferguson enters what amounts to a must-win bout in hopes of achieving his title hopes after seeing his 12-fight win streak snapped in May by Justin Gaethje. Don't expect it to come easy against this version of Oliveira, who is riding high on a 7-fight win streak since 2018, all by stoppage. Next, just how good is Kevin Holland? For all the talk about how masterful Deiveson has been during a year which has been difficult to most, the 28-year-old middleweight prospect Holland has been just as opportunistic. Owning a 3-2 record inside the octagon entering 2020, Holland has gone on to win 4 straight fights in a 5-month span, including 3 by stoppage. The hot streak was supposed to have led to him facing Jack Hermansson last Saturday in the main event of a UFC Fight Night card until a positive COVID-19 test forced Holland to withdraw. He'll get a second chance this weekend following a matchmaking switcheroo in which Marvin Vettori, originally set to face Ronaldo Souza at UFC 256, took Holland's place by defeating Hermansson, with Holland stepping in to face Jacare. As impressive as Holland has looked against hopeful future contenders, the 41-year-old Souza should provide a better indication as to how for real Holland is. Finally, how much life does JDS have left? The former UFC champion has been on hard times of late despite ripping off a 3-fight win streak, and knocking out Derek Lewis, as recently as 2019. It's everything that has happened since then that has placed the future for Junior Dos Santos in discernible doubt. At 36, the wars and miles have seemed to add up for Dos Santos as he enters UFC 256 on a streak of 3 straight defeats, all by TKO. The good news, if there is any, is that each defeat came against dangerous top contenders in Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blades, and Gertinho Rozenstruik. The bad news is that unbeaten upstart Cyril Gane has been installed as a 4-1 betting favorite on Saturday. A win or even a competitive loss could save JDS his job given his name value and the fact that heavyweights can often reinvent themselves late, see Andrei Arlovski's seemingly never-ending career. But a stoppage loss could be the end of the road for a legend who fought for the UFC heavyweight title as recently as 3 years ago but hasn't held it since 2012.